Hello, everyone. Hope you are all well. As usual, my name is Petr Nemeth. I'm the CEO of Dataddo, and I am more than happy to welcome you on today's webinar. As a topic for this webinar, we will be talking about our new product lineup, because probably, as you know, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, we have actually launched a series of our products that are focused on the, let's say, different segments of the market, but of course on the different needs of each individual user or each individual company. So I will be more than happy to present it today, explain you what is the typical use case for such kind of products, and of course how you can scale from one product to another, especially when you start, adopting the data-driven policies inside your organization, and how we can actually, help you through the whole life cycle and through the whole development of your let's say, internal data policy. And as always, feel free to ask any questions during this webinar. At the end of the session, I will be more than happy to actually answer all of them. So in case you have any questions, any doubt, or anything that's concerning you, feel free to ask the questions. Last but not least, what I would like to mention at the beginning, with the let's say, product lineup. With the new product lineup, we have also launched our Dataddo community that is being held on the Slack. And of course, there is some nice activity going on. So of course, in case you would like to join our community, you are more than welcome to do so. You can find the links to our community in our application, but as well as, in our documentation and in our website. So as a start, let me actually share my screen. So I can start presenting the product portfolio. So right. So essentially, what has changed when it comes to our product offering? Essentially, originally we had been offering just a single product. It was a platform that allows you to basically integrate the data from any source and allow you to actually send data to any destination, including various dashboarding applications like Power BI, Tableau, Google Data Studio, but as well as to databases, data warehouses, and data lakes, and similar any kind of similar destination that you would like to offer. We also, throughout the time, as we have been growing our offering, our technology, our company as well, we have gradually added new capabilities such as data quality checks, such as reverse ETL capabilities, but as well as allowing the people to use and utilize our API, which actually led us to launch of the headless product. And of course, as we see that there is more and more use cases that are coming to the platform, we have decided to do or kind of redesign our product lineup, and essentially come up with 3 different products that are still using the same platform, still using the same technology, but each of them is tied to a little bit different use case, but as well as to a little bit different stage of each of the organization when it comes to working with the data. So the 3 products are Dataddo Dashboards, Dataddo Anywhere, and headless data integration. So starting with the Dataddo Dashboards, the product itself is designed for, I would say, entry-level data analytics use cases. So typically, if you are a small organization, or even if you are an individual, and you somehow have the need of integrating the data, of course, typically you are not yet willing to invest any significant amount of resources into things like data warehouse, but as well as into the actual dedicated data personnel. And you really want to get some extra insights from all the data that you have in all those different sources. Of course, we are typically talking about the various marketing tools, CRMs, ERPs, pretty much any software as a service applications that are being used these days. And you want typically to visualize them in things like Power BI, Google Data Studio, Tableau, and others. Of course, if you would like to build it in the old way, you would need to have some sort of database or some sort of data warehouse that has the connection to your visualization tool, and you would need to build somehow the connectors that gets the data from those specific services towards your database. With the Dataddo dashboard products, we actually allows you to do this everything in the no-code manner. So you don't really have to bother even about the data warehouse. So essentially, with the Dataddo dashboards, you can easily plug in the any source, whether it's Salesforce, whether it's Google Analytics, whether it's data from your Facebook, whether it's TikTok, whether it's any other payments, customer marketing platform, and simply plug them to Dataddo, and then choose the destination to where the data should be visualized, without the need of provisioning the data warehouse, without the need of writing the transformations, without the kind of heavy engineering works that is typically involved with such kind of deployment. Of course, this product is really meant for the companies that are typically starting with the data, because of course, as you will more evolve, you will at some point come to the stage where you will need the data warehouse. Either it will be from the perspective when your data will become too complex, so you will need to build some extra data transformations models inside your data warehouse, or you will start to look for some dedicated data personnel. And then, of course, you can utilize the next product that we are offering. So yes, consider this product as a really entry level that really allows you to quickly onboard the data analytics capabilities inside your organization without the much commitment and without the much of the resource investment that you would need to do otherwise. What is also important to mention is that we are within this Dataddo dashboards product, we are actually offering a free version. So typically, for the Dataddo dashboards product, when it comes to the pricing, is you are being charged by the amount of flows. Flow, I believe it was explained by my colleague in the last seminar or last webinar, but essentially it's a connection between the source of the data and the actual visualization tool in this case. So for instance, you can imagine that you want to extract the data about your customers in the Salesforce, and you want to send them or visualize them into the Power BI or into the Data Studio or into Tableau. So this is considered as a single flow. This plan also has all the nice features that are embedded into our platform, which means access to all of our connectors. So right now, as you probably know, we have more than 200 connectors. We are adding 2 to 3 connectors every week. You will also have the access to all of our data quality features that are embedded, because we believe that, of course, there is nothing worse than be embarrassed by a broken dashboard when you are showing it to the colleagues. So, of course, all of our connectors as a standard part of our platform are fully maintained. API changes are fully maintained. So, for instance, in case Salesforce, Facebook, or anybody else decided to change their API, it is automatically covered by us. And also, we provide the proactive monitoring of all the data pipelines. So, of course, in case there might be some sort of issue with your account, that the data are not being extracted, for instance, due to the fact that your account has expired. We always send you a proactive notification. Of course, you have the ability to actually set it up. What is also good to mention is the actual scalability and the future proofness. So typically, when we are talking about this Dataddo dashboard product, we actually advise the customers that they can use this product for cases when the individual table, so to speak, or the individual data sets has less than roughly 1 billion of rows. If there is more than 1 million of rows, we typically advise them to actually decide to go for the proper data warehouse, and thus use the next level product. What is also important to mention is our technical support. Sorry, I just recovered from the cold recently. Is our technical support, which is 24/7 available. We have the sorry about that. You have also the ability to use our great documentation, our assisted onboarding, but also the capacity to utilize our ever-growing community. Last thing to mention is our commitment towards our security, and which is of course goes along with our full SOC 2 Type 2 certification. So we are able to provide this kind of proof there also, because essentially when you are using Dataddo dashboards product, we are providing you with the data warehousing capabilities. So you can choose where your data are physically processed and located, but also we can ensure the security by complying with all the important standards like GDPR in the European Union. We also provide you with the ability to actually provide the custom encryption keys. We of course encrypt the data by default, but in case you want to have enhanced security, we have the capability of actually providing custom data encryption keys to make sure that everything is under your own compliance policy. What I did not mention or didn't stress enough is that there is a free version of this product available. It's up to 3 flows. So as I already mentioned, the definition of the flow itself. So this free product is up to 3 flows. When it comes to the other comparison with the standard Dataddo dashboard product, there is only weekly sync of the data available, whereas with the Dataddo dashboards, you have the capability to do it every hour. So of course, the free plan is meant to give you an idea how the platform works, so you can kind of do some sort of groundwork on that. But of course, once you need to go beyond this sort of personal usage, it's always good to have the data in let's say more frequent time available, as well as to count on our extremely good support. So as I already mentioned, this product, Dataddo dashboards, is meant for entry-level cases when you are starting with the data. Typically, the next stage that the company wants when through their data journey is they decided, okay, so we kind of lay the grounds for our data analytics. We as an organization understood how we can leverage data to actually help our business. So then the typical stage is, okay, so we did the proof of concept. And the next stage is to actually commit more resources into that. And this is typically in the increase of the investments on the technical side, which is typically translated into the actual you start using of the data warehouse, together with some with, of course, ETL and reverse ETL capabilities, but as well as with the investment into the data personnel itself. So this would be the stage when you as an organization will start to hire a first data engineers, data analyst, and roles like that actually can solve some more deep data problems beyond just simple visualization in the business intelligence platform like Power BI. And of course, for that, we have products that is called Data to Anywhere. Data to Anywhere, it's basically a concept that is built around the data warehouse. So you as an organization started to be serious with the data. You have the data warehouse, and typically you have the need to actually get the data to the data warehouse at the first place, because typically data warehouse act as some sort of single source of truth for your organization. So the first need will be to essentially channel all the data from all the different business applications like Salesforce, Google Analytics, ads, ERP systems, to the data warehouse itself. So this will be the first typical need. And of course, Data to Anywhere has this capability embedded through our more than 200 connectors, through the fact that we are actually proactively maintain all the connections, making sure that whatever API changes are deployed on the side of the source are being taken care of. So this would be, let's say, the first capability that you would start to look at. The second capability that you would start to look at is something what we call a database replication. So the typical need would be when, let's say, you have a centralized data warehouse. You have a data engineering team in place. Let's say, but you have a marketing and sales departments, and in those departments, you have a couple of data savvy people, and they keep asking your internal data team about some certain specific data. They want to start actually working with the data by themselves. We call these roles, typically citizen data scientist or citizen data engineer. And of course, typically your data engineers will not allow to access people from the business department to the actual data warehouse, in order to kind of maintain the data governance and data consistency. But the typical solution is to do what can be called as a database replication. So let's say you have your production data warehouse running on top of the Snowflake. And what you want to do, you want to create some sort of sandbox environment for your marketers or for your salespeople, where you can actually send them there some data that are needed for their analytical work, but at the same time making sure that the production data warehouse is not being potentially exposed to some wrongdoing. So what you can do with our Data to Anywhere product is essentially you can set up a data synchronization pipeline between your centralized data warehouse. It could be Snowflake, it could be Mongo, it could be your on-prem database, and you want to send the data to any sorts of other database or any sort of other data warehouse that your line of the business team might be using. By that, you actually achieve more data security, because it means that you don't have to give access to your centralized data warehouse to people that you inherently don't trust. You are fully under the control what kind of data are being replicated. So we actually allows you to define the replication process itself up to the table level granularity. So we can always pick up only certain columns. The columns can be masked in order that some of the potential confidential or potential personal identifiable data cannot be exposed. So by that, you can really create some sort of really secure sandbox that, on the one side, give you the confidence that you are 100% compliant with your data security, data governance, and data compliance policies. But at the same time, you give the so much needed flexibility to your line of the business teams, so they don't have to kind of keep bothering your internal data analytics team to provide them with the fresh reports, with the fresh data set, etc., because they will be empowered to do it by themselves. The third important capability that is embedded into the data to anywhere product is what is called a reverse ETL. We actually held a specific webinar, I believe it was roughly a month ago, dedicated towards the reverse ETL, and of course the typical use case I believe mentioned that a couple of times is you have the data in your data warehouse and you want to do some sort of what can be called as a data activation. So typically you extract the data from the Salesforce about your customers, you build some complex data scoring, customer scoring model inside your data warehouse, and you want to have the capacity of actually pushing the data back from the data warehouse back to the Salesforce. So you drastically reduce the complexity in this case of your CRM system, and still having this flexibility that you can do your own computation and essentially send only flags or some sort of metadata about anything, whether it's customers, invoices, whatever it could be, back to your CRM system. So this is embedded into the product as well. And last but not least, is still similar to data to dashboards. You have the capability of doing the direct visualization outside the data warehouse. Of course, you might be asking, why do we actually need this particular functionality? Because once you have the data in the data warehouse, and the data warehouse can be connected directly to Power BI, to Tableau, to Data Studio, there is not much of a need of this kind of direct connection as opposed to the previous product. The reason why we decided to actually include this capability into the Data Anywhere product is because we believe that there is still room in terms of rapid data prototyping and rapid model building. Imagine a scenario when, for instance, because building a data model could be a quite complex and time-consuming task. So what you can do, you can, at the beginning, start very simply. You can connect data to your Salesforce account, set up a couple of flows to actually visualize the data directly in the Power BI. And because we inherently build all the data models in the background, you have the data models available already. So the data are being just visualized in the Power BI without the actual data warehouse in the place yet. So you can buy in your management. You can kind of show the proof of concept how this could work, and with that, once this is being approved, once you some sort of fix your data model, you can easily within the platform switch the destination from the dashboarding app back to the data warehouse, and then all the data models will, with all the necessary schemas and tables, will automatically appear in your data warehouse. So of course, when it comes to the pricing of this kind of product, of the data to anywhere product, it is priced by the exactly same principle as data to dashboards. So you are always being charged by the amount of flows, and essentially flow is not only limited to the dashboards, but you can really send the data from apps to dashboards, from apps to data warehouses, from warehouses back to the apps using the reverse ETL, and from data warehouses to data warehouses, database, data lakes, etc. So you can really utilize all the directions of the flows, and this is all embedded into this product. And of course, last product that we have launched is our headless product, which is essentially the API version of the data to anywhere. I already held a dedicated webinar to our headless product. So essentially, whatever you are allowed to do in the data to anywhere, ETL, ELT, reverse ETL, database, data duplication, you can do with our headless product, only in the way that the interface is, of course, both the UI and the API. So then if you need to heavily utilize the automations, if you heavily need to or dynamically need to provision the connections, this is the product for you. Or of course, if you just want to utilize our pipelining technology and you want to embed it into your product. So this was all from that. So let's look at the questions. Nobody has asked any questions, so I hope that everything was clear. Of course, in case you have any further questions about our product portfolio, if you would like to learn more, you can of course send me a message using my email address, petr.nemeth, Petr Nemeth, @dataddo.com. You can also check our community. It's available on the Slack, and of course there is all the full information that are available on our website, including the contact details. So of course, in case you would like to learn more, feel free to contact us, and we are more than happy to provide all the necessary information. So of course, thanks a lot for the attention. Thanks a lot for coming to the webinar. Of course, in case some of your colleagues didn't manage to get into this webinar, there will be a record available both in the YouTube, and we will be sending it over. And last thing before actually signing out, there is a question for Oberdan, sorry. Is there an incentive to use this tool in small and medium-sized companies? Yes, so essentially, for the small and medium-sized organizations, typically when you are really starting with the data, there is a data to dashboard product that is really the basic version costs $99. It has all the really end-to-end capabilities that you need for the beginning, so you don't have to bother with data warehouse. Everything is no code, so you really don't need to invest into the dedicated data personnel. And of course, if you really want to start very low at the very entry level, you can still utilize the free version of the products, which only allows you to have a free flows with the with the weekly syncs, but of course it might be a good option to start. So therefore, that the costs are zero, so you can really start extremely easily with that. So I hope that I answer the question. Of course, in case you would like to learn more, feel free to contact me after this webinar, and I will be looking forward to the next session. We will be sending over the invites as well. So again, thanks a lot for your time, and looking forward to the next session.